Hi there. So today I wanted to touch upon this fire energy that's moving and that's been with us for quite some time. And astrology-wise, it is Saturn and Neptune being in Aries. It is Jupiter just moved into Leo and will soon be opposite Pluto in Aquarius. So that Leo Aquarius axis is going to be very activated, already is activated. And the nodes, the south node and the north node will be moving into that axis as well. Which is interesting, I think, in this time, the Leo and Aquarius axis. So gonna go into that. But in general, a lot of fire. And fire is not super easy to be aware of because it's so quick, it's so instant, it's so can always be reactive, like this inspiration, this intensity, this passion that comes through, and often very like fire loves more fire, so it's easy to get overheated, it's easy to get impulsive, and I mean the best antidote usually to excessive fire at least is patience, which is also kind of tricky to find there in the space in between. So and I also connect fire a lot to will and willpower. And of course, will is essential to a human, and it's like for survival, and it's also essential for manifesting things, for doing things, for creating things. And I mean, we start off, and our society is also very connected to the individual will. And that's also important. And that's also, again, very important to be in connection with your own will, what you want. But it's also been conditioning of sorts in our society that we kind of only operate through the individual will and forget this natural flow of life that's also is always present. And we are very much conditioned to that if anything is going to convey to my will, I need to force it, I need to push it. I have a lot of fire and I have a strong will. And I definitely have been pushing and forcing a lot, and especially being young. But and we have so much more power than we think. So we can accomplish a lot just by willpower alone. And in the business world, for example, that's very much the way to work. We have this like will, and we force and push and create, and that kind of gets what happens when we are solely creating from our individual will is that usually stress and tension is created, and that's kind of happening within us. So what usually happens then, if we're open, if we want to become more aware, and this is, I think, what Neptune and Saturn in Aries definitely supporting us to do, is to also Jupiter in Leo and also Pluto in Aquarius, to get more aware of our inner fire, to get more aware of our will in terms of, because oftentimes this kind of surface level individual will is created from external needs, like maybe looking at someone and saying this, I want this too, or not of like not always, should say, like anchored deeply within us through our heart and embodied. So this fire can also be about very much comparison. So I want to be someone that I maybe not. I want to do something to get confirmation, recognition, those kind of things. And with this kind of maybe surface level fire, also comes entitlement. And that, I think, is what we've been doing in the Western world for quite some time. It's like we're entitled to the earth, we're entitled to animals, doing what we want with animals, and we're entitled to money, we're entitled to a certain living standard, we're entitled to having children when and how we want. It's a lot of entitlement, and it's not connected really to the collective will, to the maybe divine will, to the higher best of all. It's not connected to the earth, it's not connected to our body. So that is kind of what I think this whole orchestra wants us to figure out, how to move more and more into the place where our individual will aligns with divine will, with collective will, with the better for all. And that doesn't have to be like a huge thing or something that we like. It just has to be deeply connected. I think that's the key. What Neptune and Saturn in Aries wants us to find, like a meaning. Maybe is a good word, a word for it, like anchor the meaning. And that and I guess that is kind of what we can find in Aquarius when it's not distorted, to find that vibration, the true vibration that can't be wrong because it's universal. So, and when we play that true vibration in a tone, we are this beautiful orchestra. Instead of being like homogeneous groups that just follow the herd or follow the influencer, or um, having these distorted ideals. So that is, I think, what is being asked from us right now. And and that comes with then using this fire in a more aware way. Fire, as I said, it's very strong, it's very forceful. And usually when kind of fire ignites in us, it needs to be used. It needs to be moved through us. So but that's where it comes in, that fire also makes us very impatient. So oftentimes it's like an inspiration and then I'm going to do it instead of kind of grounding this. So I think what this Jupiter in Leo opposition to Pluto in Aquarius wants is to kind of ask us where it comes from, sort of. Does what we create and build our life on basically come from truth, from sincerity, from like deep passion, or does it come from something a bit more superficial, a temporary inspiration, or doing something that we think we might will be recognized for or get confirmation for, and all these things. So this journey basically to the authentic, I think that is because authentic is very much used all over, and I think it's already inflated basically, and I think it's so much bigger than like the surface level authenticity. I mean, if I would have been asked 15 years ago if I'm authentic, I would say yes, and I wouldn't even doubt it. And I think because there was like I didn't do anything I didn't want to do. But as soon as I started to meditate in groups and got a bit more aware, I could quickly feel that I was caged. I was actually like caged and restrained. And I think that is the unconscious part of us. That's kind of where it lies. This this part of us, or these parts of us that we don't really see, where we are actually very, very conditioned through how our family did it, the expectations, the societal structures. So becoming authentic, I think it really, really means to, at least at times, to be really courageous. And I think that's also where we can use this fire in a very aware and conscious way to really break free, to really dare to go against the masses, to make those decisions from you. And I think it takes time to really ask ourselves, is this really my decision? Am I kind of rationalizing it because it's easier, it's an easier route, or am I actually standing up for my truth? So I think there's a lot of, and I mean, I think this road to authenticity, it often requires us to sometimes stand alone, you don't not having the support, not having the herd or the group behind us. And I also think it means ending up in beautiful places where and communities where we are aligned, truly aligned from that truest vibration. There's no labels, there's no, hopefully less entitlement, which is again something that really comes with this Western energy, and more humility, more true connection. So that was what I wanted to share this time. Thank you. Should you want to dive a bit deeper into the element of fire, I have a bundle in my shop with a guided alignment to energetically connect with the element of fire. And there's some self practices and inquiries. And there's also a workbook with perspectives on fire, on the element of fire. You'll find it in my shop, and the link is right below. So thank you for listening today. Bye bye.